Hey guys, how's it going? It's Willie Thomas here, and today I'm going to talk to you about using Google Draw in your classrooms. This is our Google Draw tips and tricks, part of our G Suite Integration Summit session that we have going on today. So I hope that today will give you some really good information on things that you can use in your classroom. So one of the things that when you think about when it comes to Google Draw, a lot of people are kind of like, oh, is it kind of like Paint? Is it something that kids can just kind of draw on, type of canvas, stuff like that? Well, it does all of that. It's interactive, and what I like about it is it's all web-based. So they can do this from their Chromebook. They can even do this from their iPad if necessary. So like I said, so we're going to dive right into Google Draw. There's lots of things that your student and you, the teacher, are able to do as well. One of the first things right off the bat that you can do is use it as an interactive whiteboard. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So as you can see, it's just a plain canvas. Now, there are some different tools that you can use. There are the line tool, the arrow tool, the elbow connector, things like that. So students can do that as well. But there's also this scribble tool. So if you're wanting students to push on their Chromebooks, if because they're touchscreen and all, if you are wanting them to draw on there, they can. So they can go ahead, they can draw lines just like that, if need be. You can do numbers. Like I said, I don't. There are all kinds of different things that you can kind of draw, maybe connectors, things like that when it comes to the interactive whiteboard. Dragging in different shapes, dragging in different shapes here that you can type in as well, dragging in different objects, maybe callouts. There's tons of different functionality built right inside of Google Draw for you to make interactive whiteboard sessions for your kids. They can be on all at the same time. One of the things I like to use a lot is called graffiti. So it's kind of like a place where kids can just mind dump information based on something that they learned that day. So it's, like I said, really good, just plain canvas. Now, what I like to use it for a lot with students and myself is infographics. So here's an example of an infographic. Now this is one that we've used several times when it comes to like Bloom's taxonomy. So here's what I like about infographics. It delivers some really good information in a very interactive, kind of colorful way that's pleasing to the eye, and then that way students and teachers or whoever else is looking at them can get that information instead of just paragraphs and paragraphs of words. So with this one, with the Blooms, so I was able to go in here, and then you're able to make, like I said, there's different shapes, different types of styles that you can do, arrows, different things like that, so you can make that. So this one I actually got off the internet that we used a little bit later, but I can also turn this infographic into an interactive infographic or a thing link. Now, if you're very familiar with thing link, basically they're targets that you can make them interactive. You can tie different websites to them, different links, takes you to videos, takes you to all kinds of stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into that, and let me show you what that looks like real quick. So I can come over here, like I talked about, inserting a shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert this circle here, and I want, when they click on blogging, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and move this here, and I'm gonna make this my first interactive shape here. I can go ahead and just double tap in that and make that number one. So when they click on blogging, I want it to take them to a blogging site. If I'm making this for a teacher or for a student or for someone to give them some more information, I want them to do that. So if I want them to go to my site, my blogging site here, either one I've created or one I want them to go to and actually start blogging from, I can actually right click on this, and then it allows me to paste a link in there. So I'm gonna go ahead, jump over here to Blogger, copy this link, and bring it back. Right click on it, and click on that, my link. And when I paste that in there, so now this just becomes an interactive marker as well. So just like a thing link, I'm able to send someone to another site or another page or wherever it is I want them to send them to as well. I'm also able to come in here, and they already have, I can do arrows. Say I want this to not have a number to it, but I want them to still be able to see whatever it is that they're going to. Since these are circles here, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of outline this real quick and move that right over it. And then this time, see this little paint bucket here? I'm actually going to make that transparent. So I click on transparent. Now you can actually see through the circle. Not only that, I'm going to go ahead and move this up here so it kind of outlines it just a tad bit there. So you can see through the circle and you can actually know where to click if you're trying to be fancy. And so when you hover over it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm actually going to come in here. I'm going to use the same link there, hit apply. And so then when I hover over it and I click on it, it actually brings up Blogger or the website that I wanted to go to as well. But you're still able to see the icon. So if I wanted to put a number by it, if I can. If not, I can just go ahead and just outline that as well. So that's creating like a thing link type function. Like I said, I can send it to YouTube, I can send it to whatever website it is that I want to send it to. So it's pretty neat. The next one I want to talk to you about is using another type of interactive graphic organizer. So being able to use the different shapes and stuff with the water cycle. So once again, another image that I got in here from the internet. So I'm able to come in here and actually bring in the different things that are going on with the water cycle and put in different callouts that are already off inside of Google Docs or Google Draw. So when I click on the shape tool again, and you'll see there are arrows, callouts, equations, things like that. So I'm going to actually use a callout here. I'm going to do this little bubble. And you'll see here, I'm going to go ahead and draw me a little bubble there. And as you can see, I can either do another text box if I want to. I don't have to do a text box. I can just double click in here and this will be runoff. So there you go. So students are able to come in here, label different parts of a plant, label different parts of an equation, label different parts of a passage, or maybe even a character. If they're going in there and they're listing different types of character traits that they have, something that they're reading or in a story. They're able to do that right inside of Google Draw from there. Once again, you can share this with them with the callouts already there, and that way everybody has their own copy through either Google Classroom or Schoology. So it's kind of up to you, whichever one, how you want to do this, or you can all work off the same one and maybe in a small group. Each person is in charge of their own section of that interactive Google Draw. All right, so the next one is a meme. So we've all seen the memes out there. They're pretty fun ways to get kids kind of talking and relate things to other things. And one of the big things I like about Google Draw is I'm able to bring in and do the different types of layers on stuff. So I'm able to bring in image, but also I can bring in text to provide that particular theme that I need to provide for my meme. And so what I like too about Google Draw is, as you'll see over here, I'm able to actually take the directions that I have for my Google Draw and put it on the side. So that way students aren't having to click back and forth between Schoology or Google Classroom. All the directions are right there on the side inside of my Google Draw. And all that lives right up in here. So students are able to go in and then you can tell them exactly what it is that they need to do. So maybe it's a meme related to what's going on in the world right now. A meme related to, I don't know, one of these scientific methods, or a meme related to, when it comes to ELAR, the things that you're reading about, maybe some shortened text or some text artifacts, things like that, or how they felt when they got through reading a particular story. All kinds of things that they can make memes for simply using Google Draw. So the next one that we really have a lot of fun with is the storyboard / comic stripping. So this is a pretty cool little deal that you can do right inside of Google Draw. Super, super simple to be able to do, to go in here. As you can see, I have my 6 squares set up, ready to go. I've used callouts, the things that we talked about a little bit earlier, but I also use my Bitmojis and some images as well that you can see. So the first thing I did was I just used the line tool that I have here, and I just drew lines straight down and then straight across. Okay, so I got my 6 cells ready to go. And then using the Bitmoji app extension up here at the top, okay, so I'm able to come up here and I click on my Bitmoji extension. I'm able to find the actual Bitmoji that I want to use to put inside there. Now, no, your students do not have access to Bitmoji, but they do have access to the camera that's on their Chromebook. Now, I know you're wondering, like, well, okay, what do you mean? What are you talking about? They can use the camera. So, if I go to Insert and I go to Image, just like they're able to go find all these images that you're seeing inside of this comic strip, they're actually able to go down here to Camera. And then they're able to see themselves and create their own kind of Bitmoji expression or whatever it is that they want to create here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make the oh no Bitmoji face. Here we go. Oh, let's do it again. Maybe they may need some help, someone to kind of maybe hit the button or something, maybe a partner or something. All right. So I like this one. I'm going to go ahead and insert it myself. I like that. Now, I know what you're saying, but it's a big old square. How do I just use just my face? So if I double click on it, it actually lets me crop it in. So now all I see is my hand. Okay, and I hit enter. So I like that. But so I also want to mask it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go up here at the very top where the mask tool is and the crop image tool. So I'm going to click on the drop down and I can actually mask this once I have it selected as a circle. Bam, look at that. So now my image is actually a circle. So I'm going to delete Bitmoji Willy and put Willy-moji Willy, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. So now kids are able to make their own expressions right inside of Google Draw. This is, like I said, really fun for them to be able to go in here and do this. Just like you saw with the callouts, very easy for them to add text, different information. All these are here are text box that you can put inside and insert right inside of Google Draw. Like I said, get your students learning and getting creative when it comes to talking about their learning through storyboarding. Maybe they are getting ready to make a video, a Flipgrid video or something like that, going through and setting up that script through storyboarding right inside of Google Draw, super simple. And they can do more than 6 cells if need be. If they need to resize their canvas, very simple. Come up here to the top, hit File, go down to Page Setup. And then they can actually set a custom size for their canvas. So they're able to make it wider or taller, whatever it is that they need to be able to work with on their canvas. So the next one is going to be the word and mind map. So like I said, kids are really trying, they're getting ready to write a paper, they're getting ready to do a project, but they need to get that information out of their head. This is a great place for them to go ahead and take that information and start spider webbing all that out there. Just kind of get that out there, get their ideas out there on paper. Like I said, really good way they can do this individually, or they can do this in a group as well. So you'll see here, so you have my word map here, you have your main idea, maybe it's a war that they're fighting, and all the people who were involved, the different sides, all the things that happen. Maybe it's a math fact or a math term or math process that they're trying to work out. These are different steps. Or maybe they're getting ready to write their story, or maybe some type of scientific study that they're about to do, and they're about to do an experiment, based on all their ideas and things like that they need to be working on. This is a great place for them to do that. Once again, you can share this actually with them, this template with them, and then they can insert their information right there inside of it. So like I say, everybody gets their own copy through that, through Google Classroom or through Schoology. So however it is that you want to share it with them, this is a really, really great way for them to get their information out right through Google Draw. Another one is doing Google Draw using a timeline. So this is a pretty fun one as well. So as you can see here, I have my son. Here's from birth. All this is a line that I drew. And then these are boxes with arrows. Once again, you get all that from the shape tool right here. So with my life, so students can do a timeline, like I said, things that are going on from the butterfly, turn into a worm, or from any age level, grade level. I decided to do this one on the life of my son. So here I have one from birth. Then I have when he was age 3. This is where we found out where he has some allergies. He's allergic to mosquito bites, and it was pretty bad that day. Oh, felt so bad for him. And then this is him now. He actually turned 6 a couple weeks back. So this is his time. Now I have one missing here. This is a actual place where I want to show you where I can even put a video, not actually insert the video, but I can put a link to a video right inside of Google Slides or right inside of Google Draw. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert my image that I have here. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that from the drive. All right, so once I have my image here, I'm going to actually resize it, make it fit right there. So this is Matthew going through what's called tummy time. So as you know, all babies have to get that tummy time so they can practice rolling over, getting strong, lifting their necks up and heads up and things like that. So my wife doesn't like tummy time. She hated it. So daddy was in charge of tummy time. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to now insert and hyperlink this by clicking on it, and then coming up here at the top, I'm going to insert this image or the link and then hit paste. And this is going to a video that's located inside of my Google Drive. And so when I hit apply, and so now when I click on tummy time here, it actually will take me to the video with Matthew doing some tummy time. Look at him, getting it. Get it, boy. All right. So that is kind of doing like a timeline with pictures. Like I said, all different kinds of ways. So different grade levels, different content areas you can do this in. Makes it real simple, real fun for you and your students. And like I said, another way for them to actually learn and express the things that they're learning and talking about. So this next one here is a copy of magnetic poetry. So this doesn't have to be poetry. This can be, like I said, number expressions, things like that, sequencing. So all these are shapes, and they just have words in them. That's all it is. And I'm going to go ahead and so see how it comes out blue. So if I click on my fill color, I can actually turn it white. And then if I click on it once again, I can actually go to format options here, add a drop shadow, and then I'm actually going to take the border off of it. So now there is my transparent square. And then I know you're like, well, I don't want to have to do that over and over again. Simply Command C or Control C, and then Control V, 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 V. And so you can make however many boxes that you need, and then, like I said, use any kind of font that you want inside your text box to make different types of poetry or different types of words or different types of numbers, different types of dates, things like that. And students can drag them and put them in order to create their own interactive poetry. Like I said, really simple way to like I said, make learning fun when it comes to using Google Drawing with, like I said, with different words and different things like that. Have your different backgrounds. There can be just different themes throughout the year, winter, things that are coming up. I know we're looking at kids doing this with Dr. Seuss, having a Dr. Seuss theme in the background, and then coming up with their own rhymes and stuff like that. So like I said, it's going to be really, really fun this year being able to do that with Google Draw. Now, one of the things that we had the students do that was pretty fun in our elementary grade levels, we had them create their own emojis using Google Draw. Now, they just use the shapes. That's all they did. They used the shapes and they used the canvas. Now, you'll have some students, okay, who took it to the next, level, and some students who, were just kind of doing their own thing, using the draw function and things like that. So our first student here, as you can see, got the draw function going on, got her yellow circle and used her finger and kind of drew eyes and a mouth. And then you have our next student here who once again took it to the very next level and used all the different shapes to make a really cool wolf emoji. So like I said, that's why I love that, giving students the opportunity to show the things that they can do and share things they can do. You can give them the same exact assignment, or you can give them the same exact challenge, or give them the same exact project, but let them decide how they want to do it. Give them that creative opportunity. And these are the things that you come up with. This is a second grader who did this. So this is pretty cool. And then they can just download this as a PNG. And as you can see, they can use this emoji inside of either their storyboard comic strip or anything like that they want to use. We actually had them make sentences with the different emojis. This was a couple years back, and it was pretty fun. It's pretty fun. They had them do that. And last but not least, something that I personally was working on, I thought was pretty cool. So I read the book, The Crossover, and I wanted students or whoever to pick up this book next to get a Flipgrid video of me doing a review of it. But I was like, how can I do that really simple, but also make it something fun and something that they can use? So then I created a bookmark. So this is a Flipgrid AR bookmark. So yes, when I say AR, students can open their Flipgrid app and scan this QR code that's on here, and I will actually come up giving my book review of that book. And then, like I said, they can keep this bookmark that's already inside of the book and then make their own Flipgrid AR review of the book itself. All I did was get the picture itself, and I used the shape tool, and I came over here and drew a rectangle, the size I wanted it to be. Once I did that, I just took the image, put it here. I got my Flipgrid QR code, and it lets you download that, and I put it at the top, up here at the top, and then I actually just printed these out on white pieces of paper. You can print as many as you want to make copies of each one, and then cut them out and put them in the books. Like I said, really easy way for you to get students to talking about the books that they're reading using Google Draw and Flipgrid. So little app smashing there here at the end. So once again, guys, I want to thank you for watching this. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit us up. And be sure to subscribe down below. Hit that button down below to subscribe, so that way you'll be notified with any new videos that are coming up on our Curriculum Integration YouTube channel. Once again, guys, thank you very much, and have a great day.